So, what's good, guys? So, got the new computer set up. Not really sure what's going on. It seems that the microphone, the Blue Yeti, is not picking up, and it keeps telling me to move it, reinstall it, so not really sure what's going on. Also then found out that Windows was not recognizing the key and password and all that kind of stuff, so it's the new Windows 11, right? Windows 11 on this PC, so a few bugs, a few issues. So far it seems to be pretty stout out the box. I am about to go ahead and run a crucial scan. Now I've got the camera over to the side a bit, so it's like off. I got everything off at the moment. But I'm about to run a crucial scan on it just to see the max I can fit in this unit. It has 4 slots. The motherboard will support 128 gigabytes of RAM. So that's what I'm going to go for. However, when I do that, I'm also going to have to bump up the power supply. It only has a 600 watt power supply. That's rather... really? 600 watt power supply. So the 850 watt power supply is like $150 brand new. So I'm gonna have to do that, as well as I'm gonna add 4 32 gigabyte RAM sticks of DDR4 to this unit. The GPU is actually a decent GPU that came in this. Really surprised, because this GPU I could probably sell pretty quickly, like on eBay and whatnot. I was looking at having to replace this GPU with the one that I've got, but the one that I've got is 8 gigabyte as well, so it's like, well, this came factory in it, right? And it's an AMD, so it's the old one that I have is the RX 580. This one is like 1660, or I forget what it begins with a 6. So anyway, yeah, came with a 8 gigabyte stick, or 8 gigabyte GPU already on it, with 4 HDMI outs. So that was cool. I'm not running anything on this unit overclocked. I just want it normal. So, but the 600 watt power supply, I don't know. We're just gonna test this out and see. I'm not using this for gaming. I'm using this as like a workstation. So, I'm not really concerned with overclocking. I'm not mining any crypto on it. The only thing I do is I stake. So I stake crypto and have to go in, and I provide liquidity to different exchanges. So I'll go in and re-update different things, harvest my earnings, and then restake them. So same thing with with a few of them, right? So the rest of it, it doesn't matter whether a computer is on or not. Really, it doesn't matter whether the computer is on or not with the other stuff. However, daily I have to go in and claim my rewards and then compound those rewards in order to earn the highest yield yearly. So anyway, this is a bit of a test. So far we're at 4.5 minutes, and the previous server that I had running would just shut off after recording for like 10 minutes. So now with this unit, I've got 4 USB 3.0s. So, which is really cool. Now, here again, I can't even tell if the Blue Yeti is even picking up the audio, or if it's going through the actual camera, right? So if it comes through the camera, I'll know as soon as I go to replay this. But I try to. I wish that these cameras, these 4K cameras, would not come with any microphones in them. You can make these a lot cheaper. Don't put the damn microphones in them because they're garbage. So you have to use a different microphone. And then, like, the Blue Yeti is showing up for speakers. So I'm constantly having to unplug the Blue Yeti and to then go in, at the very bottom right where it shows the speaker. I'll have to click on it, open it up, and then sure enough, it's showing that the Blue Yeti is being used as my speaker. What? Why? Now, I've gone through everything so far with this computer. It came factory with 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is like nothing. The hard drive it's a solid state hard drive. It is a 500 gigabyte. Wait. Mega Giga Tera. Yeah. So it's half a terabyte. So as a solid state, really a boot drive, and then the slave drive on it is a 1 terabyte slave drive, a hard drive. However, it said HDD. Now, I don't know if that is a mechanical disk drive or if that is a solid state, an SSD. I know that the boot drive is SSD, and then it has a 1 terabyte backup for storage, right? So anyway, kind of cool. It's got a bunch of lights and whatnot that light up. A little weird, but all the parts seem to check out. Even the motherboard. The motherboard is decent. I forget who it was at the moment. I'm trying to just keep recording beyond 10 minutes to see how this will react and everything. So let's see. It is a B560 motherboard that is in it, but it's one of the better ones. It pops up every time when I boot up. Now I've already decrapped everything out of this computer. I reset it to factory before I installed anything on it. So that way, basically, it wiped all the garbage off of the computer when I bought it, right? Let's see. The GPU is really impressive, actually. It's an 8 gigabyte. I already said that, though. Let's see. The processor, the CPU that comes in this one, is the i7. It's like the 11700. Really good, battle tested, does excellent. It's 8 cores, 16 threads, and the temperatures of it running on this motherboard are excellent. And like I said, I'm not overclocking anything. I don't use this PC for gaming, even though it is one. However, I am wanting to turn this system, tweak it a bit more to be used as a server. So I'm going to taking a pre-built and turning that into a server. However, the server that I did build, I believe it to be the motherboard is bad. So what I'm going to do with the old server is I'm going to do a custom build on that. So I'm going to begin with a nice case, all of that kind of stuff, a different motherboard, higher end motherboard. So better than this one used here. However, the CPUs that I had in the other, it's a dual Xeon processor, the old server, but it's 18 cores, 36 threads. It was the AS2690s, the Intel Dual Xeons. So I want to try to figure out a motherboard where I can reuse those same CPUs, because those CPUs used to exceed $5,000 just for those chips. So that again, a few other things that I want to try to beef that up to, right? So if I can get a better motherboard, because I believe it to be the motherboard is a problem with the previous server. So the motherboard, and then to be able to have 4 slots for at least, I would say, DDR4 RAM. So then I can run 128 gigabytes out of that, off of those 2 processors. Then, I've already got a GPU. I've got the RX 580, the 8 gigabyte that I can use, but I would like for it to have 2 ports, 2 PCI ports on it, with the ability for that motherboard to be able to accept upwards of like 1,000-watt power supply. So that way I can do other things with that later. I mean, I know it's overkill for what I'm doing, but for later, it would be kind of cool. The other thing is, I'm not concerned with a motherboard with Wi-Fi. I'm just not. I don't like Wi-Fi. I'm in Theta. Everything is hardwired, right? So I've got this one hardwired. It does have the, what do you call that? The Wi-Fi built in. I don't really give a damn. I really don't care. I have not tested the Wi-Fi. I have it all turned off. I prefer it hardwired. I get a higher megabit a second upload and download. So right now we're at 12 and a half minutes. Woohoo! We've already exceeded the previous computer. So I guess it would just heat up and then shut down. That's the only thing I can figure out. I took it completely apart. I even went as far as putting new thermal paste on the CPUs and reinstalling them on the old server. And still, I went through everything I could. I think there's an issue with the motherboard, or the power supply is way different in that one. However, I think it's more the motherboard. Would just make more sense to me. It's an older motherboard. So, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I didn't take too many notes, and I can't really read them that well off of here. But, I went into Best Buy, right? And I went in there, and this guy's trying to convince me to build a computer. And I kept telling him I might just do exactly that. And I probably will, with all the other components that I've built up over the years. But I'm going to go for a new case and a new motherboard. But no, I went into Best Buy on a Monday, right? And place was dead. It had no one in it, and which was great for me, because I went in there knowing what I was looking for. Excuse me. But then I wanted to know specifics on different things of this unit, and what I'm going to be capable of doing with this unit to upgrade it, and what I can actually build this unit up to, right? So this guy was able to take the time with me, which took about an hour and a half, which, was not repetitive questions and repetitive answers. We were really spot on. The dude was like wicked cool. And evidently I found the one guy at Best Buy that everyone should go see. But no, he was able to take the time to actually go through it. Now we began looking at 3 different pre-builts, and for what I wanted, this was the only one that Best Buy carries, that they sell, that I could upgrade to do what I want to do with it, as well as based on the components, the internal components. So I'm more of an Intel person versus a Ryzen person. Like I said, I'm not into gaming. I'm into using the computer. So I understand, different benchmarks do different things. That's great. I'm happy for you. I'm just an Intel guy. So anyway, let's see. What else about this Joker? Excuse me. I'm just super glad I was able to just at least set it up, and let's see where this goes. Now already we are now at 16, almost at 17 minutes, and so far I have not seen the screen jump. It has not shut down. Seems to be flawless. And here again though, I have not tried to upload anything yet. Now I just set up the editing software, just added different things to this computer. So now, that sounded like it just kicked in. So this is a good test, right? And then, like I said, I'm going to test the gigabytes of RAM as well as the 8 gigabyte GPU whenever I go to upload this little video here, right? So this is going to be a good test of the RAM. The GPU I know can handle it. However, the RAM of this computer only being at 16 gigabytes, I don't know if it will be able to. However, I'm about to, once I begin uploading this video, then I'm going to run a crucial scan on it and see what the cost of DDR4 RAM is there. Then I'm going to go online and go check for DDR4 RAM to go see what is the difference in cost, right? So I don't care if the RAM is lit up with RGB lighting and all that. I really don't care. I just want it to function. I mean, all the RGB lights and all that, that's cool. That's fun. It's kind of neat looking. And had some other software that I set up, but I don't really understand how to control it because I only want it to stay one color. I only want it to stay blue, like Digibyte. And then I'll probably put a Digibyte logo on it. Go get that. Take the Digibyte logo and whatnot and take that to, say, a vinyl shop that does, like, decals and stuff for automobiles, and I'll put that on the plexiglass of this PC. So far we are at 19 and a quarter minutes and nothing yet. Excuse me. The only thing I wish that this computer had was more not HDMI, what is that? USB. I wish it had more USB outs. I mean, I know I can get a USB splitter and all that, and I may end up doing that, because for the card reader and everything, for the SD cards and the mini SD cards, for all the footage that I can put on this. So I may go about that as well. Get a splitter, for the other devices that don't need a 3.0 USB, right? So all the other devices to be able to plug in. Excuse me. So the other thing I'm interested in is an external hard drive of like a 5 or a 6 terabyte. So that way I won't just like max out the total amount of storage of this hard drive. It'll just all the 4K footage that I record that takes up quite a bit of storage, right? So, which is why most people will only record in like 720 or 1080p. To bump up to even 2.7K requires a decent amount of storage. But 4K, I was beginning to scratch my head on that with the previous server. So I'm going to go ahead and start a search on a good 5 or a 6 terabyte hard drive external that I can plug into this to just use that as a file dump, if you will, a video dump, to put that off on the side. So far, everything is running smooth. And this is about all that I'm going to be using this computer for. So far, right out the box, seems badass. Seems awesome. But I am going to boost up the RAM. And that's another cool story. In the store, this guy I'm going back and forth with, right? And finally he's figuring out what I'm doing with this computer. And he then tells me that they're sold out of 32 gigabyte RAM cards. And knowing the supply lines and what's going on in China and trying to get anything for a computer these days takes quite a while, right? Excuse me. So anyway, the dude's got 16 gigabyte DDR4 RAM cards, right? He's only got 4 of them left. And that's how many slots I've got in this in this PC. And he knows I'm about to buy them out. And I think the dude is doing his own build, right? So that's it. I could tell he did not want to sell those. It seemed to me like he wanted those. At least he wanted 2 of them. It is what I'm gathering, right? So anyway, I was like, you know what? Let me just take this home, get it out the box, and set it up, because, I mean, really the cost at Best Buy for the DDR4 RAM was really, really kind of outrageous. I was really surprised at that. So I'm going to do a few searches and go around and go take a good look, see what all's out there, right? And go from there. He can order the 32 gigabyte. No estimate on ETA. No ETA on that though. So no idea of shipping it, any of that. So it's like, wow, dude. So I mean, I could have bought the 4 16 gigabyte cards that he had, but I think the dude was doing his own PC build, so and then after we did all the spec lookup and everything on this PC, the guy was really shocked because the other ones that he had did not even come close to what this one I'm able to do with this one. Then he figured out what I was doing with it, and kind of surprised him. So, I mean, I got this unit for $1,300, and to build it, yeah, I would have saved. Well, actually, I saved $200 because I use a credit card with. I get a statement credit of $200 if I spend $1,000 within the first 3 months or something like this. So, I spent $1,300, which really that only cost me $1,100 after tax. So after tax now, and so we're about to see what other upgrades we can do on this with the. I want to put 128 gigabytes of RAM in it. And when I do that, I may go ahead and beef up the power supply as well. I do have a second PCI slot on this, so I can run another, what is that? Another GPU on it. I would like to have the same GPU of what is already in it, which is a 8 gigabyte as well. So, I don't know. We'll find out. I don't intend to use this as a mining rig. I'm just thinking that this would just be fun. A little hobby. That's all. Isn't that how we all began in crypto? A little hobby. So, who knew we were going to hit a home run or two, right? So anyway, let's see. We are now at 26 and a half minutes. Not a flaw. Not a flicker, nothing. And this is all 4K footage. So, really out the box, I'm already impressed. Like I said, we will find out once I go to upload any of this. So far, this is working great. I'm shocked. I'm stunned. So, now, don't get me wrong. This server that I built, I got 4 years of service out of it. So I did well. I did well with that. And it ran constantly. It stayed on constantly, doing other things like for a theta, whatnot. So, running different peers. I was running the Guardian node. That's something else. I might be able to download the Guardian node on this one now. Stay tuned, right? Because I was going to end up having to do like G-Pool or something with the amount of theta that I still have, that and the T-Fuel. But I don't know. I'm going to go ahead with the 128 gigabytes of RAM first. Maybe the power supply. Then I'll worry about staking my theta, because it hasn't been staked in over a year. I took profit in theta so long ago, right? Where I didn't take profit over a year ago. What I had done was I moved it from staking to not staking. So that way I would be able to take profit whenever my numbers triggered. However, since I did that, I had issues with running the Guardian node on the previous server. So anyway, I was never able to restake any of that. So anyway, I was able to take profit on theta, still kept quite a bit. I have quite a bit of T-Fuel. And now that I'm compounding rewards and doing different things with staking and liquidity farming and that sort of stuff, providing liquidity to exchanges, I'm about to try this. However, out the box, this Joker has exceeded my expectations. So, yeah. I did all right. I did a lot of homework, though. I'm glad the guy was able to go in and spend the time with me to pull up all the different stats and all the different components of this unit. But, dude, this is a pre-built unit that Best Buy has on the floor. that really beats all kinds of all the other computers. It's like, wow, dude. I mean, wow. It's a nice unit. So far, right? We're gonna turn this into a server though. So this is gonna be a little science project. Oh man. I can't wait to see what this thing is actually capable of doing. When, like I said, we pulled up all the specs. So I know what the manufacturer is claiming that it can do. We're about to try that because we have 14 days in order to return this unit. We're going to have us some fun. All right, y'all. 30 minutes. Wow, dude. Wow. Worth of 4K footage. And this has not clipped, has not shut off. Now, I don't know if this microphone is working or not because it's Windows 11. It's saying I don't have it in, I go to device manager, everything else, and everything shows that the drivers are up to date. I've done all the updates, everything. So I don't get it. I think it's like something between Windows 10 and Windows 11. So this now has Windows 11 operating system on it. And we're just going to go from here, right? So hopefully this was not a 32 minute waste of time. So anyway, with that, thanks for bearing with me on this first test of this computer. Y'all be cool. Later.